Good evening, everyone. Nigon here from Nigon's Electronic Creations, along with Master Footman, and we're going to be doing the second video of the Features of Igniter series. As promised, this is actually about the Spark color set editor. It's very similar to the Igniter color editor, but instead of editing the individual colors of Igniter, where Igniter has two main colors per font, the blade and dual face color. This will be editing the single main color of Spark Color, which is the blade. Now, of course, Igniter also has the Flash and Clash as the Spark Color. So Igniter has like 4 colors per font: main blade, dual phase, Flash, Blast, and Clash. And Spark Color has 3 colors: the blade, the blast, and the clash. Okay, so let's go over how to edit these color sets. Now I'm going to be using the actual Igniter Saber. That's going to be very similar with the Spark Color. I also wanted to point out, I believe there's some confusion, but Igniter and Spark Color run together. So when you buy Igniter, Spark Color is one of the apps. And that's why I sort of split like the config. So they're S config.ini for Spark Color and Spark. So that way the S config and the config of Igniter, they can all coexist. And also that way on Igniter, you'll notice the COLR1, COLR2, all the way up to COLR9, those folders are on the Igniter. That's because those are exactly the color sets for Spark Color. And if you're running just Spark Color, those folders will be there, of course, as well. And those where all the color profiles are stored. One other thing to note about Spark Color compared to Igniter is that the colors are not tied at all to the font. So like for Spark Color, font 1 can cycle through every color set, color 1, color 2, all the way up to color 9, all of those banks. Though it is important to note that I did add the feature so each font can say which color set do I start on. So like in the default files, I believe like font 1 actually starts on color set number 2, which is the green, because I think I have like blue, green, red for color sets 1, 2, and 3. And for the first font, since I'm using Father Son, I have a start on green. With all that said, let's go into using this. So just like for the Igniter, you need to get into Saber Apps. So again, this is Igniter, but Spark Color would be very similar. To get into the configuration, you just point the Saber straight down and then hold in the aux button.
Saber Apps.
That was Saber Apps. If you're using Spark Color, it would say Saber Configuration, and you'd only have config. They're not exactly apps, but you only have like the config sub-programs, whereas with Igniter you have the full apps. So now we can just basically find the Spark color set editor.
Color edit Saber set.
We're just
Spark color set editor.
So I just tap the aux button until I hear that, and then I can push the main button to engage it.
Spark color set editor. Press and hold the aux button at any time during the menu to hear the instructions.
So this is really important. All the apps that I make, besides the main firmware, I'm going to try, and unless I say otherwise, I'm going to try to add in so you hold in the aux and it will give you the instructions, because I know there's so many apps it's hard to know what they all do. So right now if I just hold in the aux button, it would like explain me everything. Basically it's going to explain what I'm about to explain in this video. So I won't push it here, but just always know, like in case you forget after watching this video, you can always hold that aux button. So let's do this. So now you'll notice we're in the menu here, but this menu is the menu for the app, and this is a little different. Like in the color editor for Igniter, the menu is pretty much the same. You cycle through the fonts, but this menu you're just going to cycle through the color sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as you have.
1.
So now we're on color set 1.
2.
Now we're on color set 2. Let's say we want to edit 3.
3.
Here we go. So now we want to edit this color. So how to edit the color is basically just press the the main button here, and we have red. And so this time I'm going to completely change the color. Like in the last video, I just sort of tweaked it, but let's completely change. So let's change this to like purple. So I know I'm on blue right now. So let me start adding some blue. So it's very pink right now because there's a lot of red.
100.
So let's keep adding blue.
150.
It's about 180. It's getting good. It's still too red. So let's go to the red and turn down the red.
Green.
So to switch between the actual colors, you do the dual phase.
Red.
So now we're on red. So now I want to decrease it. So decreasing it, I actually hold in the aux button.
Decreasing.
Then it will say decreasing. Now tapping will do decreasing. And you can actually do a clash to like increase or decrease by 1, because pushing this button increases and decreases by 10. But I find I don't really use it. 10 is usually gives you pretty good.
200.
That's looking pretty good. I don't know what it looks like on camera. And again, I'm leaving the lights on, so you can't really tell what the color is, but very super well. But that's now is a purple color. It looks kind of bluish, I think, but it is purple. So let's save that. Now let's say we want to edit one more. So that color is saved. But
4.
let's edit 4. And for 4, say we like orange for the blade, but we want to edit the like one of the blast or clash colors. So to do that, you actually hold the aux and do a swing. Now this has got a wonky aux button, so just bear with me while I do it.
Decreasing. Increasing. Clash.
So there we go. Yeah, unfortunately this aux button is wonky, so it doesn't. It's hard to push in and swing at the same time. It requires a hard push. So this is kind of blue, but we had like an orange blade. I don't know. Let's get some red or something into this.
Green. Red.
I'm just gonna kind of.
0.
Oh,
50. 100. 150.
so there's too much blue. I'm adding red.
Amber.
There's amber too, and this. I allow amber on this Spark color editor. That way, if you have the 4th thing, you could actually modify it. So let's turn down blue here.
Decreasing.
It's kind of an ice blue color right now.
200. 150.
Now it's getting kind of like silver. This is kind of cool.
100.
Maybe I'm gonna save that. I think that it's pretty different. So it's kind of like a silver color. I think that'll make a good flash color. So just like the the igniter color there, now we're done. So now I can just go back to the main program by going back to the apps.
Saber Apps.
And then I could basically just go until I find igniter.
Color, motion, save, spark, igniter.
So there's igniter. Oh wait, I don't want to go to igniter, duh. I want to go to spark color.
Saber Apps. Color, mode, save, spark, color.
So there's spark color. I'll go to that. Because I changed the spark color set editor, so going to igniter is no point. So let's see. This is number 2. So here's 3 is now a purple that we modded, but the flash is the same. Now let's go to 4. That should be like an orange. Yep. And then was it the blast or the clash? Oh, we modded the clash. There we go. So let's see if I can trigger this on camera. Yeah, I got it set pretty hard, and you can't really see it, but there's our kind of whitish silver color. But there you have it. That's the other app in a nutshell. So I'm hoping these videos are helping not only to explain individual apps, but also show you the usefulness of apps. That with the Saber apps, that you can go through and there's completely independent functionality, independent applications that you can completely do with the Saber. All right, everyone. See you on Facebook and the forums.